And welcome back, YouTube. This is BoosterBoxBuster here with a Nintendo DS video game collection video. I'm very happy to share this with you guys because the DS and the 3DS are some of my favorite video game platforms. The reason for this is simply you can take a game with you anywhere you go and play it anywhere you want to. You don't have to worry about being connected to a TV, to a certain room, just anything like that. And they have a lot more substance than most cell phone games out there, so it's a lot better than the cell phone type mobile games. Without further ado, let's get into this. I have quite a few games to go through, so bear with me if the video length is kind of long. First, I'd like to share with you Rune Factory 3, A Fantasy Harvest Moon. This is my current gaming addiction. This is such a fun game. Just the other day, I was playing this game, spent over 3 hours without even realizing that I was playing it non-stop straight. This is such a fun game. I love all the town characters. The battle system is simple but fun. The farming system is very easy. It is just such a fun game all around. Absolutely love it. If you're in the mood for a Harvest Moon with a light RPG elements, you cannot go wrong with this game. Definitely highly recommended. Up next I have Inuyasha, Secret of the Divine Jewel. At least it appears to be. But as you can see, I have no idea what happened to the game. I think I lent it to a friend, and either they still have the game or they lost the game. So that is unfortunate. I have the game case, so this is a game that I can at least buy cart only in the future. And then we have Scribblenauts. Unfortunately, this game is very creative, but the first one in the series I kind of found boring. It just, once the novelty wears off of being able to write in the limited amount of stuff that this game has, it wears off quickly, for me at least, and just didn't become very fun anymore. The sequels improved a lot, but the first game was just very... I liked what it started, but it just wore off very quickly. Up next, we have Super Scribblenauts. This game was a lot of fun. It improved on the original game by quite a bit, and it actually was... I enjoyed this game quite a bit. Much better than the original. I liked the fact that it had a much wider vocabulary of words that you could use. Just a lot of fun. Definitely a great series that I think has been forgotten to the sands of time. Up next, from Treasure, we have Bangai-O Spirits. Very fun, very hard, fast-paced game that kind of gives you a wimp mode out if you are not good enough. Unfortunately, I was not good enough for some of the stages. I did have to take the wimp mode out. But yeah, very fun, very fast-paced game. This is probably going to be the closest style game that you're going to get to a Toho release. At least for a straight shooter on a handheld. In the Western, for a Western style release. Up next, we have Super Princess Peach. This game is actually underrated. I think it was actually a lot of fun. Very, very simple platforming. I know it's kind of, this game kind of gets a lot of hate for the emotion system, but I found it a lot of fun. You know, if you just turn your brain off, play a very simple, very enjoyable platformer, you can breeze through it in, honestly, probably an hour or two. But well, like I said, this game gets a lot of undeserved flack. It's just a very fun, simple platformer. Dragon Quest Monster Joker. Man, this game has so much content. Unfortunately, I never finished it. And this game, I spent a lot of hours in. I never finished it, and just simply because I was trying to get the highest combined monsters, and it just takes forever. So much grinding, so much capturing, so much trial and error. Just so much content to this game. If you enjoy Pokemon on crack, this will be a game for you. Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. Played about 2 hours of it, and then I realized it's not as good as Tactics, and I put it up. Children of Mana. It's a dungeon crawler, believe it or not. A roguelike dungeon crawler where basically all you do is go down randomly generated dungeons, try to get down to the lowest floor, get your treasure, get out. Definitely a very unique gym, kind of like, I want to say storage system. Very different for Mana series. I personally did not enjoy this game too much, but I can, you know, it's not a bad game, but it's not a good game. It's in the middle. WarioWare Touched. This one I put a lot of hours into, and I just love. It is just your micro game on fast pace, fast forward. This is just so much fun. If you like any WarioWare game, this is perfect for the handheld launch title. Very fun to play. WarioWare DIY. Unfortunately, I picked this up on launch day, and I just never really got around to playing it. I thought the idea of creating your own minigames was fun, but then I just kind of bought it, put it on the shelf, and never played it yet. So this is a game that I need to get to. Let me know in the comments how fun this game is. Professor Layton and the Curious Village. This game was so much fun. Some of the puzzles were deceptively hard. Let me tell you, I as a grown man had to look up the solutions to some of these puzzles. I was like, what the heck? What is the answer? Even after getting all the hints that I could get, it was like, what's the answer to, like, I think there was like 3 puzzles in this game that I could not figure out without help. But very fun game. Loved Professor Layton. Such an iconic character. Yeah, definitely worth your time. If you can find this game, I highly recommend picking it up if you like a puzzle game. And then, of course, I have Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box, the sequel. I loved the train aspect of this game. The story was not quite as good as the original, but still a lot of fun. The puzzles are still just as hard. They kind of have an uneven difficulty curve. Like, some puzzles are super easy, some puzzles will just knock you in the face. But still, I love the train aspect and the new character added in this game. Very, very fun game. Let's reverse this order. Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Well, I mean, I love the Wind Waker style graphics, and I loved Wind Waker. This game did not live up to Wind Waker. It's still a very fun game, don't get me wrong, it's just, it had a lot to live up to, and unfortunately did not meet the expectations, in my opinion. The tower was kind of annoying having to go through it all over again. I didn't mind it as much as some people, but it was still kind of annoying. My biggest gripe is touchscreen only. I really wish you could use the controller at least to walk around. Up next, Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Zelda on a train? I mean, it's a interesting idea. Link as a train conductor, you know, honestly, I never would have thought that, especially in a Hyrule world. But once again, I still love the Wind Waker style graphics. I love that style graphics. It's cel shaded, very fun. An improvement over Phantom Hourglass, but still, it could have been better. Pokemon White version, the original. I put so much time into this game. Very fun game. The bad thing about me in Pokemon games, I play. I level, grind. And then I just get so burnt out, I don't want to play a Pokemon game for like a year after I finish it. So, very fun game. I kind of built a speed demon team where it was just like a whole bunch of just speed demon Pokemon, so it very fast, not very powerful. I usually got killed pretty quickly, but I had a lot of fun nonetheless. Ooh. Here's a fun one, the legendary Starfy. This game was so fun, so cute, so adorable. It is Kirby without the absorption ability. Just such a cute, adorable game. Very, very underrated. Unfortunately, we never got another sequel to this game in the West. I hope Nintendo releases another one on 3DS before it discontinues production. Or, I don't know, maybe the Switch. That'd be cool, too. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Mini Land Mayhem. I had a lot of fun with this game, very fun. Basically, it's like, kind of a mix between Lemmings and Gearwork type game where you gotta kind of build a path for your non-stopping minis to get to its destination and usually knock out the big baddie. Which in this, it's Donkey Kong. Some of the courses are actually, especially the hidden courses, the unlockable ones, could be very tough at the end. But nothing that's not manageable. Very fun. A little bit low on content, though. Ooh, here's a fun one. Advanced Wars Dual Strike. This was a really fun game. I never actually played an Advance Wars game until this one, and let me tell you, it's a lot of fun. I wish that Nintendo would bring this franchise back, as seeing a 3DS release on this would be killer. I really like the Advance Wars series. Nintendo, please make another one. Kirby Mass Attack. Kirby games are fun, simple. This one, I liked the gimmick of having to get all the 10 Kirbys across the screen into a certain goal. That was a lot of fun. Cute little gimmick to change up the regular Kirby formula. Here, this brought back some memories. Kirby Superstar Ultra. This is the, basically, they came out with a game called Kirby Superstar for the Super Nintendo, and let me tell you, that game was fun. This brings that to the 3DS, and it is perfect. If you like Kirby, and basically like an explorer treasure, exploring for the treasure mode was my favorite mode by far. I highly recommend you pick this up. 8 different, I think it's like 8 different types of games in one. One of the best Kirby games I've ever played. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds World Championship 2010 Edition. Reverse of Arcadia. I picked this up purely for the promo cards at the time. The game itself is actually not bad. I've only ever played a little bit into it, but the story mode actually seems like it could be good. I definitely have to sink some more time into this game before I can tell you if it's good or bad or not. I picked this up for cheap. Hero Saga Leviathan Tactics. It's a Final Fantasy Tactics style game, and I couldn't get past the first 2 hours. I literally almost fell asleep during a fight. The story just bored me. The combat just bored me. I was bored of this game. I may try to go back to it, but at this time, this may go on the back burner for a while. Hero Saga Leviathan Tactics. Polarium, the destroys your touchscreen on your DS game. Very simple, very fun puzzle game. Gets very hectic at the end, but it can really destroy your screen if you play recklessly. Game & Watch Collection 2, Club Nintendo. I got this with my Club Nintendo points, never opened it. Honestly, I probably never plan on opening it. This will probably just be in my collection until one day I decide to sell it. Sonic Rush. This game was actually not bad. It was actually a pretty decent Sonic game for the handheld. It actually had the Sonic feel, you know, relatively fast-paced, but not like super fast like Sonic CD. And the story mode was, you know, nothing bad, but nothing good. I mean, it was just a well-rounded Sonic game. If you could find it for cheap, I'd definitely recommend picking it up. The only bad thing is the game is short. Exit DS. I picked this game up for $5. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten too far into it. It's a very simple platformer, kind of almost like a early Xbox Live Arcade style game, where it's just heavy platforming. You gotta save people from burning buildings. That's pretty much the whole goal of the game. Exit DS. Here's a fun one. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This is the only game I have in this series. I'm planning on trying to pick up the rest of the series. This is such a fun game. If you haven't played I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm just going to say this. If you haven't played a Phoenix Wright game, definitely start with this one. It is so much fun. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. That is one that I want to try to get the rest of the series in. Dragon Quest Monster 2. I don't know why I picked this up, because I could never finish the original one. And I haven't even started this one. Literally, it was like on sale for like half price, and I was like, oh, that's a good deal, because I thought one day it might go up in value. But yeah, Dragon Quest Monster 2, one that I have to finish the original one for first. Elite Beat Agents. Just so much fun, such a goofy game. I'm honestly surprised that this game made its way to the West. This game is so just ridiculously over the top DDR on your DS with hilarious imagery. I definitely recommend to check it out if you are basically take Bobobo, Men in Black, and DDR, mix it together. You got Elite Beat Agents. Elebits. I picked this game up for cheap. This is a game that I have yet to play. It was like $5, and I was like, sure, I'll buy it. Made by Konami. I heard a lot of good things about it. I just have not gotten around to play it yet. I'm still working my way through some backlog. Ooh, Contra 4. Hard as nails. This game, if you love NES difficulty, this game is for you. I have yet to beat this game. I have played this game off and on quite a bit, but I have yet to finish this game to completion. Contra 4, fun, but difficult. Away Shuffle Dungeon. This is another game I picked up for cheap back in the day. Unfortunately, I have yet to sink any time into it. It looks like a relatively fun game. I just haven't had time to play it. Disgaea DS. I sunk a lot of time into this game. This game was so much fun. I enjoy the Disgaea. This is a game that got me into the Disgaea universe. I love it so much. The immense amount of grinding that you can or cannot do if you know, all depends on what you like to do. The characters are really funny. The story is really enjoyable. I love the character art design. Yeah, just Final Fantasy Tactics, but on crack. This game is so much fun. I highly recommend it if you enjoy grinding, anime, and hilarious story. Getting into some of my favorites here. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, one of my favorite games to ever be released on the DS. This game had was so much fun. I enjoyed collecting the souls. It took forever to get some of them, but I did eventually get all the souls in this game. The bosses were fun. The endings were fun. The whole game was just a lot of fun. I highly recommend, if you enjoy the Metroidvania style games and you haven't played this, to definitely track down a copy and play this game. So much fun. And then, of course, to follow, we have Castlevania Portrait of Ruins with the terrible GameStop sticker inside on the label itself, which I can never take off. This, while not quite as good as Dawn of Sorrow, still a very fun game. I enjoyed the idea of jumping into paintings, which I know is stolen from Mario 64, but hey, I call it borrowing. Going into different paintings, so you're not just stuck in a castle, you can actually go to like a desert, just other type of landscapes instead of a castle with various types of rooms. This game was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed the dual system too. A lot of people didn't care for that, but I enjoyed the two-player system, or the swapping out character system. Very fun game, very underrated. If you enjoyed Castlevania, Metroidvania again, please check this out. And then we have Order of Ecclesia. I bought this online. I didn't realize that it was cart only, so I had to track down a DS case, and I printed out my own cover art for it. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, but the game is fun. Probably my least favorite. I mean, it's not as good as Dawn of Sorrow, but it's like tied with Portrait of Ruin. It is a really fun game. I love the main character's art design. Yeah, not much more I could say about the series. I mean, the trilogy on the DS is so much fun. I highly recommend picking them up. I recently finished this one. Dragon Quest VI: Realms of Revelation. This game blew my mind. This game was so much fun. The dialogue between all the party members and the town folk was so funny. The combat, while typical of a JRPG turn-based, still very fun. The story was actually kind of mind-bending, while predictable at some points, still very fun story to play through. I enjoyed trying to figure out what was going to happen, who was behind it all. And the three worlds in this game, which I'm kind of disappointed that the box ruined that, because you don't find out about the third world until much later in the game, so I was very disappointed that the box ruined that. So that is one spoiler that's right on the back of the box information. But besides that, this game was fantastic. If you enjoy JRPGs, this one is, I mean, just a no-brainer. Now, while I'm saying that, I'm trying to track down a copy of Dragon Quest V. I know I can buy it online, but I would prefer to try to find it at a local store first. Code Lyoko: Fall of Xana. Never have I played a game that felt so empty. That felt so kind of almost not quite finished. Literally, there are bosses in this game that got in one attack on me the entire fight. and that was it. I think I died a total of 3 times, and that's because there's like a difficulty spike early on in the game that you literally have to grind for or else you're gonna lose. And then there was one boss that I literally had to reset the game on because it got into a loop where he would just never stop healing himself. But besides that, just very, very empty, very felt like unfinished type game. The anime, very fun, very great. This game, unless you're a die hard of the anime, I suggest to avoid it. Now this game surprised me. Magical Star Sign. This game was so much fun. When I first seen the art style, I thought this game doesn't look that good, and it looks really for kids, but let me tell you, this game is not for kids. This game should be rated T. There's death of main party members in this game. I mean, it's like Ares level death. I highly recommend to be emotionally ready for certain parts of this game. This game really surprised me at how mature the story was. But very, very fun game nonetheless. We probably get to one of the worst games I had on the system that I played. Touch the Dead. I would rather not. M-rated game, on-rail shooter, just a bad game all around. I had almost like 1 point out of a 10-point system, 1 point of fun out of this. This game was not fun whatsoever. Bleach Blades of Fate. A very nice beat 'em up, but it went by so fast. This game was a quick game. I enjoy Bleach. The anime was so much fun. This game was fun while it lasted. It was kind of like a roller coaster ride. You have a lot of fun for 3 minutes, or a minute or two, and then it's gone. I mean, short but sweet. I'll leave it at that. Hoshigami. Hero, Running Blue Earth Remix, a port of a PlayStation 1 game. I put in about 60 hours in this game, and then I realized at the end of the game that a choice I made 3 hours into the game locked me out of the secret boss ending. I was not happy, so I finished the game and I was like, I'm not going back for that. So I just looked up what the final boss ending was. Or the secret boss ending was, sorry. Yeah, Hoshigami Running Blue Earth Remix. I had a lot of fun, and then it kind of scorned me at the end. Okay, the next batch of games is what I like to call my collection that I went for solely because a certain company made it. First up, we have Etrian Odyssey. Please, I don't know how to say that. I picked this up a while ago. Very, very fun game. I love that type of old school dungeon explorer type game. Got pretty far into it, but never beat it, unfortunately. But still a very fun game. If you enjoyed that old school, draw your own map type of game, I highly recommend this game. And Train Odyssey 3, The Drowned City. I picked this up because, honestly, I thought this game would shoot through the roof in price, so I wanted to pick it up early. Have yet to get into it. From what I've seen, it looks like a good continuation from the first one. But yeah, I just picked it up because I honestly thought this game would go up in price, and I didn't want to pay a lot more for it when I possibly get into the series. Nights in the Nightmare with cover art that has seen better days. It looks like it kind of went through the ringer once or twice. Once again, just like in Train Odyssey 3, I picked this up purely because of the company that made it, Atlas, and I have yet to play it. It looks like a very fun game, though. Steel Princess. I actually have completed this game to complete, or finish this game 100%. One thing I did not like about this game, the camera angle. The isometric, pseudo-platforming, turn-based type game. It didn't mesh well. I finished it because I wanted to see this game through, and the jumping on the grappling hook thing, oh my god, that system did not work well. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It sucked. Yeah, I finished it. I would not recommend this game unless you can. What I would recommend is look up videos of it. If you think you might like it, pick it up. If you don't, then stay away from it. Devil Survivor 2. This is another game that I have yet to play. I purely picked it up because of the Atlas name. Or Atlas. Atlas. And it was on sale too, so I was like, oh, I'll pick it up for that price. Luminous Arc 2. This game was actually a lot of fun. That's a lie, because I picked it up used from GameStop, so of course the music CD was not included. But yeah, the game was actually a lot of fun. I love the art. It kind of reminded me of, oh, what's it called? I can't remember the name of the game, but it reminded me very much of other Atlas games. Very fun. I love the art style. Here is a fun game. Touch Detective. I actually had a lot of more fun than I thought I would with this game. And there are some puzzles that are, just like Professor Layton, deceptively hard to figure out. I had to look up a strategy guide for one particular part because in the game you have to touch the screen, and there was this like one little tiny speck that I missed when I went through just touching everything. Because I was like, okay, where is it? And finally, I had to look it up, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing that I could interact with. So yeah, some deceptively hard puzzles, but actually a lot more fun than I thought it would have been. Definitely worth a look if you can find it for cheap. Here is a fun one, Azuna, Legend of the Unemployed Ninja. This is actually a really fun dungeon, or roguelike dungeon game. I highly recommend it. I love the main character, Azuna. I love the characters. It has a lot of funny moments and a lot of good battles in it too. I highly recommend it if you enjoy roguelike dungeon crawlers. Oh, Trauma Center Under the Knife. I played this game. I got to the end, and I cannot beat it. I don't know how they expect you to move around the screen so fast to catch that goddamn spider infecting the heart of that one place. I can't beat it. The game, for me, is unbeatable. I can't move at the speed that they require me to move. I have seen it, or looked it up, and some people have had to use 2 styluses in order to beat this game. If you need to use 2 styluses to beat a game, how are you supposed to beat it in the first place? But other than that, I love the crazy interactions with the nurses. If you accidentally kill the patient, or if you take too long, or if you sew them up wrong. I love the crazy interactions with the nurses. If you can withstand high, intense pressure and move at the speed of lightning, this game would be for you. Deep Labyrinth. Haven't played it. Picked it up purely for Outlist, and it was like $10. This game. The Dark Spire. I recently looked up this game, and holy cow. Is this game rare? I had no idea. Because back in the day I picked this up used at GameStop for $3.99, and now it's worth like $99.99 or so. You know, not that much without the disc, but still, it's worth. I can't believe how much this game jumped in price. And I actually played this game, and oh boy, is this game a grind. First off, this game is cryptic, and it is hard. I got up to the 5th or 6th floor, the one where you first run into the dragons, and let me tell you, I got stuck. I haven't played the game since, but let me tell you, this game, if you enjoy dungeon crawling games, you probably want to, if you can find it for cheap, definitely pick it up, but this game, you might have to go different sources if you want to play it, because it is, I can't believe how much this game is going for nowadays. I mean, it's a okay game, but I don't see why it's so expensive. Super Robot Tansen OG Saga Endless Frontier. This is another game I'm ashamed to admit it, I have yet to play, but it looks like one heck of a ride. I love just these two characters alone are enough to entice me to buy this game. I actually picked, this is one of my few buys that I bought online at the time, because I was like, this site has it for how much? I have to buy it now, because I'm never going to be able to find this game again for that price. And I'm right, this game has gone up in price since I bought it. But let me tell you, the artwork alone was enough to entice me. And I can't wait to get into this game whenever I do decide to get into it. Here's a fun one. Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey CD inside, and I got the replacement CD because they had apparently issues with the CD not working. So I got 2 CDs for the price of 1. Now let me tell you, I have yet to play this game as well. I feel sorry. But once again, I bought it purely because of the Atlas title, and I figured, I don't know what it is. I was in a phase where I was buying any and everything Atlas. Every single thing that they made, I was buying, because I was like, this game's going to go up in price, this game's going to go up in price, I have to buy it. At least for the DS, I was. I was right for some of them have not gone up in price, but it seems like anything Atlas does nowadays, they have a super cult following, and I don't know what it is, but their stuff just retains value really well, or tends to go up in price for the majority of it. Alright, and the final game in my DS collection as of right now. Still sealed, never open, Solitarobo Red the Hunter. I picked this up off of a recommendation of G4, I believe, because they said that this game was good but underrated, and like had no promotional material. And I was like, well, I'll pick it up if I see it. And I've seen it at GameStop for like $20, and I was like, I'll buy it. And let me tell you, this game looks like a lot of fun. Still have not opened it yet. Maybe one day in the future I'll do an unboxing of it if you guys really want to see that. Or maybe I'll just keep it sealed and sell it someday, I don't know. But the game looks like to be a lot of fun nonetheless. Alright guys, hopefully that wasn't too long of a video for you. That is my current DS collection. I am in the process of buying a few more because, and I believe in the next 1 to 2 full years, DS and 3DS games will be discontinued DS games are discontinued, but I believe 3DS games will also be discontinued by Nintendo. So I'm trying to buy a lot of the handhelds because I really, really enjoy playing them. Even though if I haven't gotten through all of them, at least I will have a backlog because I'm really, really enjoying playing games on the handheld right now. This is BoosterBoxBuster with a DS game collection video. Signing out.